that they conveyed that I think are absolutely relevant given our existing status quo. And these conversations have been followed up with the fire chief, management in the fire department, as well as leadership in HFFA. I think this is one of these key areas where you've got management saying the same thing, you've got HFFA saying the same thing, and you've got city management also saying the same thing. And I think it would be an absolute disservice if we don't capitalize on this and really move forward on some of these items that we've talked about. In my conversations with fire department personnel, they identified what they mentioned were thousands of calls where individuals or businesses were abusing the 911 emergency system, and in particular, the fire department response. In 2015, the mayor and the city council adopted a citywide fee schedule for numerous fees, including for fire department response for non-emergency response. The police department has a concept, a nuisance call concept. I see that item that the council, the fee that the council adopted, getting at that similar type of idea. The city has not collected or imposed these fees for these types of calls, and our staff responds in non-emergency situations, tying up valuable resources, which means that in the actual true emergency that comes in through the 911 system, our staff will be on a non-emergency call, further limiting our ability to respond to a true emergency in our community. So while EMD has not been implemented, we may be able to discourage the use of this, the use of non-emergency calls where our staff responds with lights and sirens, if the public knows that they will be levied a fee for non-emergency response. Again, these responses tie up significant Hemet Fire Department resources and equipment. So something we cannot continue to do as it places strain on our employees as well as on our equipment. I left equipment on that last line. So I really see this as we need to continue moving forward with EMD, but we also need to really listen to our employees in the fire department. And I think they've offered up a recommendation that I think fire management stands behind, city management also stands behind, and labor stands behind. So these are the key things that we need to do when we talk about ensuring that we prioritize true emergency response to the city of Hemet. Unfortunately, our team responds to non-emergency situations, which then places our community in a very risky position because we're tying up our staff in non-emergency situations. So the recommendation before you tonight is to adopt the fiscal year 2020-2021 budget, and 2, to review the revenues and expenditures quarterly at minimum to make adjustments as needed. I should note that I'm facing the clock, and so I know that the council has adopted a resolution that states that need to make a motion to continue on past that, so just wanted to get that on your radar. With that being said, our departments, our divisions are here. We're happy to answer any questions that the mayor and the city council may have on the budget. Thank you, Mayor.
Thank you, City Manager, and you made the comment that I was going to make, that we have a housekeeping item, and that is to address the resolution that we don't go past 10 o'clock without a motion to go past 10 o'clock. So, that's up to y'all.
Here's the question. I mean, if we've had no time to talk about this, so are we just going to limit it to our conversation so we can get it passed? Because we can just vote right now.
I think this is
I mean, otherwise, is there a day that we can come back, because it's our second meeting, and we've heard a lot, but we have a lot to say.
Well, I personally think that we should keep moving forward. I think this is a critical agenda item, and I think that there is a lot to digest. The city manager has done a good job walking us through to this point. But I would hate to lose the momentum and say, let's take a timeout and come back another day. So I personally am in favor of going past 10 o'clock.
My question is, how long? I mean, you might say, I'm okay with how, you know what I'm saying? Do you have a time frame in mind? Are you saying 11 o'clock? I'm just saying discussion-wise.
Yeah, I think Bonnie's saying 11 o'clock. I'm open to going past 11 o'clock if necessary, but obviously that's your preference, council's majority preference. Start.
Decisions at 1 o'clock in the morning.
This could be an all-nighter if we're talking about.
Why don't we just see what the question we get through?
Okay, you want to set 11 o'clock?
That's okay.
Need a motion.
Yeah, don't put the time on me.
It's not just on you. Okay, then motion to go to 11 o'clock.
I'll second. Roll vote.
Councilmember Meyer?
No.
Councilmember Percival?
No.
Councilmember Wright?
Harry, you want longer than that?
I think we're gonna need longer than that.
Well, but by saying 11, that doesn't preclude us from not being able to, I mean, if we can't finish, we can't finish. I'm saying that
I'm saying that we
no
don't
one
need
says
all
11
the
o'clock
time.
has to be a finish time. I mean, it has to be a,
Usually when we go past 10, it's because we have like an end in sight. That's what I'm saying. You know, like we have to finish county reports, like last meeting was like, oh, we have 15 minutes, let's go 15 more minutes. This is no end in sight. So I'm just saying, like, if we're gonna start a discussion right now, how helpful is it gonna be to just stop right in the middle? I mean,
so you're voting.
I think what I hear the two of them saying is, rather than try to get an hour's worth of discussion in and stopping before we get to an end, correct? I don't mean to put words in your mouth, but you would rather have more quality time to allow for discussion and Q&A.
It's already 10 after, so.
so we've got a week to approve this. What do you want to do? We have until 30th, midnight on June 30th to have it an approved budget. We're gonna come back, make a special meeting, do something. I mean, we're just sitting here on our hands doing nothing. I've got meetings in the morning, I'm not gonna be here all night.
That's it.
So if you want a
Okay,
special
so
meeting, let's do a special meeting.
We have a motion and a second. We have two no votes to go till 11.
It would be nice to have a full discussion. So I withdraw my motion.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we have a special meeting, just for the budget.
And we have a motion and a second that we continue the budget discussion at a special meeting.
Probably need a date.
Well, sometime between now and the 30th. I'm open on the 26th and the 29th.
I personally would rather not push it back that far.
Gives me another day.
After River should be another day.
Partly. Part of my issue is not necessarily incumbent on my colleagues' issues, but I was hoping to
I've got time on the
make a trip.
afternoon of the 25th. Oh, I know there's an RTA meeting.
2 RTAs and WR.
Well, but what if we came in at like 4
I was hoping to be out of town,
You
but
were hoping to be out of town. Well, I can start at 3 o'clock on the 25th. If the RTA meeting is over at 3 o'clock. It's a Zoom. I could do 3:30 on the 25th. How are you coming? Huh?
4 o'clock.
You can do anything. You're bringing snacks. Talking about. I'll bring the basic. Oh, wait. Wait. The 25th is a Thursday. It's Thursday. And that's WR Cox Day, which goes till 2:30. I know, but I was going to be out of town. Well, how's tomorrow afternoon?
it's fine with me.
I can do tomorrow afternoon. Michael, can you do tomorrow afternoon? Harley? Bonnie? What time? Anytime after 12 o'clock. And ends at 5:30.
You need 24 hours notice.
Okay.
Even if it's continued,
Can we
it's
continue?
an agenda, continue the meeting till,
You're gonna not adjourn and
Right.
recess?
recess the meeting tomorrow.
Mhm.
Yeah, I actually think you can do that.
Let's do. Bonnie, are you okay with tomorrow? Yeah, we can do it. At 1 o'clock? I have, well, I have a meeting from 2 to 2:30. I'd be here by 3.
Three's okay with me.
I'm okay with that.
So you want to amend your motion to recess?
No, I just,
Recess to tomorrow at noon.
Well, you made a motion and it was seconded.
I rescinded my motion.
No, you made another
Oh,
motion.
I didn't.
And Carly seconded it.
Tomorrow, what time?
I think the motion would be to recess the budget
Till Wednesday
discussion.
at-
3 o'clock.
Or-
That's seriously,
I'm open
you're not
tomorrow
gonna
afternoon,
fill it?
too.
3 o'clock? Yes. If we recess. You don't, that's really not gonna get us in trouble with anybody?
Yeah, why don't you take a break and give me 5 minutes to look at my phone actually, but I think it's okay.
All right, okay, can we break, recess for
Yes.
5 minutes? Probably break.
Yes.